Welcome to Conversions for Clients. This is Module 1, and this is really all about you and what the heck goes into being an ads manager and what does your business include. And I am so excited that we're going to jump right on in and get down to the business foundations first. This is so important that we start with foundational pieces before we move into Ads Manager. And so that's why we're going to go over all of this in this lesson. This lesson specifically, so you want to be an Ads Manager. This is lesson 1. And so we're really going to dive into what that looks like. And these are the main topics that we're going to be talking about. In this lesson, you're going to learn 3 main points. And the first one is, what are the different roles you can take on as an ad manager? Because there's several different ways to have this business run, and it's up to you to decide which way feels best for you, and know that you can always pivot as you gain more knowledge, as you find out what you love, what you don't love. And so we're going to chat all about that. We're also going to go over setting expectations. So what your clients think you do versus what you actually do. The one thing that happens with being an ads manager is there's a little bit of scope creep. And so we're going to talk about expectations, reports, all of that as well. And then deciding what responsibilities you want to take on as an ad manager. Because when we define what responsibilities we are going to take on, then we can set those expectations for our clients to know what exactly we do and what we're not going to do for them. So as an ad manager, you can take on several different roles, and that's the first thing I want to chat about. So there's different roles you can take on, and the first one is a Facebook ad manager, then there's a Facebook ad strategist, and then there's a Facebook ad and funnel builder. Okay, so a Facebook ad manager, you'll hear this term, you'll hear Facebook ad strategist. What the heck is the difference? Once again, if you've been in my space, you kind of know that I don't like titles because everyone has a different title for everything. So I think it's more important to look at job descriptions. And so I see a Facebook ad manager as someone who's not necessarily just shelling out strategy, but they're just implementing a strategy that's already there. And so that's how we're going to define that in this one. So an example of this is I applied for a position with someone who's very well known, and we got on the discovery call, and I found out it was not the position for me. But that doesn't mean it wouldn't have been the position for you. So what that looked like is they had a marketing director, then they had a copywriter, they had a graphic designer, and then they wanted an ad manager just to implement the strategy that was already there. So go into the ad account, set up the strategy that was there, monitor and report. And for me, a big portion of what I love to do is the strategy. So I knew that that would not light me up. But when I was just getting started, that would have been a great way to get in there, see different types of strategy, and then implement it and get the results. And so that, when I'm talking about an ad manager, that is what I'm referring to. But you'll see, we use it interchangeably all the time. Other people say an ad manager does everything. And so just know that these are the titles that we're going to use within the course. But don't get hung up on these titles. Just know that there's different types of roles you can take on as an ad manager or an ad strategist or a funnel builder. And so knowing that sometimes you'll get on these discovery calls and they already have the strategy, you're just implementing inside of Facebook Ad Manager and reporting. So that's one role you could take on as an ad manager. The second one is an ad strategist. This is what I say I am. I'm a Facebook ad strategist. And so what that means is that I'm also doing the strategy. So I'm coming out with the game plan. I'm coming out with the strategy, and then I'm implementing the strategy and executing the strategy. So I'm going to do everything a Facebook ad manager is doing, plus the strategy. Now, does that mean I'm always creating the graphics and copy and everything? No. There are times where I'm working with a big team and they have a graphic designer. So my role is to say, here's the type of images I need. Here's the copy I want. You provide that to me and then I implement. But my strategy is still being used because I'm giving the copy for the ads. I'm giving the overall look and feel that I need for the ads. And with the copywriter, I'm working with them to make sure the copy fits what I know Facebook likes, what Facebook doesn't like. And so I'm taking more of a higher level role, and my strategy is what I actually implement. So that is a Facebook ad strategist. Once again, these are the terms we're using for this course, not necessarily the terms other people use, because chances are you're not going to see someone in a group say, I'm looking for a Facebook ad strategist. Like, they're going to say, I'm looking for someone to run my Facebook ads. So, or I'm looking for a VA that does Facebook ads. And that happens, and they could definitely use you, and they just don't know what to call you. So don't get hung up on these terms, but no, this is how I'm going to define them in the course. Now, an ad strategist can also provide intensives that are specific for just coming up with strategy. So I do Facebook ad intensives all the time, and this is where I just jump on the phone with a client. We go over a strategy. I go over what their copy should look like and everything, but then I'm not implementing anything. I'm just responsible for the strategy. It's a 1 to 2 hour session, and then they go off and implement. So that's another thing with a Facebook ad strategist, is that I'm giving out strategy without implementation. Now, a Facebook ad and funnel builder. This is how I started my business. I knew funnels because I actually built my first funnel before I was actually running ads. So I knew how to run funnels. I understood the mechanics of a funnel, and we're going to go over funnels in the next module. And I kind of knew how that worked. And the thing is, when we're working with Facebook ads and funnels, they kind of go hand in hand. If something's broken the funnel, the Facebook ads aren't going to work. If you have to know this funnel steps in order to pixel. So there's basics that have to be known about a funnel. So if you know funnels and you're coming in and you're like, now I want to run ads, so you have built the sales mechanism, the funnel, and now you're going to be the traffic driver as well. So Facebook ads is the traffic, and then the sales funnel is the sales mechanism. And so they go hand in hand. If one's not working, the other one's not going to work. And you have to have traffic to get to the sales mechanism, and you have to have a converting sales mechanism for the traffic to work. And so they go hand in hand. And so I started off with doing Facebook ads and funnels. There's good parts and bad parts about this. The good part is a 3-month client would be $6,000 instead of $3,000, which is nice. But there's some downsides. And one is, in that point, you're responsible for everything. You're responsible for the sales mechanism and the traffic driving. So if something's not working, it's all on you because you're responsible for both. So I would encourage you to pick, like, where do you feel most comfortable starting? This will pivot. I started doing Facebook ads and funnels, quickly realized that that is a full-time job that I did not want to take on. I didn't want to build funnels anymore. So now I'm just a Facebook ad strategist. I also know that I didn't want to not do the strategy. I love the strategy side. But when I was just starting out to get a client, if that would have been an option, it would have been a great option so I could see other strategies that people were using. So just know that these are kind of the differences between all of them and some of the roles you can take on in this industry. Okay, so the second thing I want to go over when we're talking about what the heck an ad manager is what you do versus what your clients actually think you do.